Hey there everyone, and welcome to the Disconnected. This is finally here. I'm going to do a full movie room tour with everything, all of my collectibles, all of my vinyl, all of my movies. I'm not going to go title by title on all of those, obviously, because this is going to be a 7-hour video if I did that. But we are going to showcase everything that I possibly can. It's going to be a long one, I will warn you that. A few other warnings, by the way. It's not going to be as well lit as normal. I am going to be not on a tripod for most of this, so obviously it's going to be a little shakier than normal. If you're new here, please give this a like, subscribe down below. There are lots more coming that will highlight some of the things that you're seeing in the room a lot more in depth. Beyond that, you might see some titles that are still in the wrapping. I tend to do that until I watch them, and even though it looks like there are a ton that are still in the plastic, I've got 2 young kids under 7 years old, both with special needs, and that has taken priority for the last 5 or 6 years of my life, so I'm not getting around to them as quickly as I used to, unfortunately. If you have any questions, please ask below. Happy to explain damn near anything. A lot of you will probably be watching this as your first visit to the channel. Please hang around. We got lots of videos. I'm going to be continuing a weekly live show every Thursday night to go over announcements, news, upcoming releases, stuff like that, and just hanging out in the comments. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get into it. Okay, we are downstairs in my home, so let's get into it. Here we go. Okay, now I'm going to break everything down coming in from the door. So this entire cabinet is all double stacked, except for this row obviously, and this row is about to be full. This is all of my mainstream horror movies that are not part of a boutique label. That row down there is triple stacked actually. And as you can see, there are a couple one-click boutiques down there that I have decided to keep separate just because they take up so much shelf space. And these are kind of in alphabetical order. They used to be in alphabetical order and they've been moved around a lot. I also, for winter months, I've got my choice of my 2 beanies that I wear there. I generally keep things up on top of this. Right now I've got my gimbal and my microphone cable, and I think I have a birthday card for my wife hidden up there since I'm super tall. But also behind this front row is a bunch of bootlegs that I still have. I've been slowly getting rid of those. When they come out on physical media, I tend to get rid of them. But there are so many movies that I would love to have a real blue of. There's Freaks, Freddy Got Fingered, Gerald's Game is amazing, Ernest Saves Christmas, Hush was great, there's some episodes of The Last Drive-In with Joe Bob, Kill Bill, The Whole Bloody Affair, and of course The Keep. I love the old Muppet Baby show. There's that. The Nightmare on Elm Street, Freddy's Nightmare Show. Tetsuo the Bullet Man, Waco, True Lies, Red Eye, Panic Room, Ritual. Can we please get official releases of all of these? That would be nice. This is my shelf where I keep everything going out. So there's my wallet, mask, keys, whatnot. And that's the start of the horror. Like I said, all double shelved. You can see behind, it does fill up the entire way. Horror is certainly the genre that I watch the most, so these are easily accessible for me, kind of, for half of the collection, and then really annoying for the other half. I don't know, it could be better, but I need to build more custom shelves that we'll get to in just a minute. Now behind the door, I actually have two posters. I've got the limited edition of the Donnie Darko poster from Arrow, and then this is a poster that my wife got me. Super iconic imagery for all kinds of horror figures. And coming in from the door, I've got some posters lined up here. I've got this pretty unique art for the Evil Dead, in my opinion. I love that work. I got that at Texas Frightmare. This is the Cat of Nine Tails limited edition poster from Arrow. Poster my wife got me for Christmas when she bought me the Suspiria Steelbook from Synapse. And then next to those, I've got the Alex Ross art for all of the Universal classic monsters. Got Bride of Frankenstein, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Dracula, Frankenstein, the Invisible Man, the Mummy, and the Wolfman. I have those put up with two acrylic shelves that are screwed into the wall, and usually I fit 3 on those, but because they are close together, I can balance one in between to get all 7. And I am rather happy with how that turned out up there. Then up here I've got mounted some of my NECAs. There's the Scream Factory My Bloody Valentine, Scream Factory Night of the Creeps, Scream Factory Slumber Party Massacre, and then these ones are the ones that can close. This is the Freddy Krueger from Nightmare on Elm Street 3. This is the 2018 Michael Myers. This is Jason Voorhees, of course. That is from Friday the 13th, Part 3. And Sam from Trick or Treat. And then Pennywise from the new It. Next to those, I've got some other posters. Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors is one of my favorites in any of the horror franchises. Once again, I got that at Texas Frightmare a few years ago. Had to get it framed. Then I got Hereditary, same place, Texas Frightmare, had to get that framed. And then my wife got me this House of a Thousand Corpses poster for Christmas one year. She had that come framed, that's super nice. Had to get the UK artwork, which is, I believe, unique for them. The only thing that sucks, of course, is their ratings logo is there. And then the first batch of my Steelbooks that are not Universals. I've got Tucker and Dale vs. Evil. I've got the Firefly trilogy. I've got You're Next. And then my Evil Dead shelf, The Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, and Evil Dead 2013. And then it goes right in line with that, the How to Train Your Dragon trilogy. There's 1, 2, and 3 all together. Love the way those look on those acrylic shelves. Super nice. In this corner, I have a whole bunch of Funko all the way to the top, or pop figures, whatever you want to call them. I've got the Pennywise with spider legs, Krampus, Freddy Krueger, Black Phillip from The Witch, Ash, Gage and Church from Pet Sematary, and then two that I was given as gifts. I got Dancing Groot from Guardians of the Galaxy and Black Panther's back there. Some of my plushes, I've got Ash here, and then I actually grew up super in love with the Muppets and Sesame Street, anything Jim Henson basically. So I was gifted this animal, really kind of important to me. It was gifted to me by a family member, and these glasses are an old in-joke with my sister. They go perfectly with Animal. Animal is straddling a Google Home, so I can play music in here, streaming, and I have a security camera, and then that is an Ecobee thermostat sensor, so I can see the temperature in here at all times. Animal is also wearing a tie from the Maxis. If you've never heard of them, the Maxis is a punk band that is fucking hilarious. I would give them a listen if you've never heard of them. They are fantastic. I'm going to go through some of the decorations before we get into the movies and everything. I have a Vincent Price bust here. I love Vincent Price. This is one of the old Severin goodies that come in one of their bundles. I have a little Michael Myers bust here. Get that to focus. There we go. And then on this side, I've got more pop figures. I've got Annabelle, Carrie, Reagan from The Exorcist. I've got Jason Voorhees. I've got Jason Voorhees with the sack on his head. It was a Walgreens exclusive. FYE exclusive Michael Myers with blood on him. Pinhead, Pennywise, and then a couple Batmans. Actually won those in a waffle online. There is Chucky, Velociraptor from Jurassic Park, one of my favorites, and then Beetlejuice. This is actually a USB drive from some of the David Sterling movies. I don't use that, but I do have it just in case. Now my pins. So I have the Severin Films Hall of Fame collection, pretty much up to date here, I believe. There's all of them. All the other pins and stickers there on these top two are all from Severin. I have those on, I believe they're like 12 by 12 cork squares. The top four here I got from Michaels, and then the bottom two I just ordered on Amazon. Pretty inexpensive and a lot cheaper than one of those fancy pin boards. Granted, they don't look nice. They're not super designed like a coffin or a skull or anything like that, but hey, they work. I've got all kinds of separate pins here. A lot of these I've gotten from conventions or from companies that are traveling through, or I go to events for them. Like Jason Rising, I sported the Indiegogo for them. Just a whole bunch of different designs. A bunch of them are from Fright Rags. And here's more from Severin. There's a Dead Vision one in there as well. Lighting is terrible in this corner. And then these ones, I believe, are all from Vinegar Syndrome on the top here. We've got the ones from Spookies and Tammy and the T-Rex, the Peakorama line. And then I've got some of the art that has come with some Severin releases. Flanking there. And then I have one of the Comic-Con exclusive pin sets from Scream Factory. And then a Steelbook here that's rather important to me. Let's see if I can get better lighting here. A little bit. This is the Kobe Bryant art for NBA 2K21. I grew up in Southern California and played basketball quite often. let's just take it off here. And Kobe was rather important to me. When I saw this art after he passed, I had to get it. I love the way they set up the Steelbook. Colors are really nice in the hand. I didn't even get the game. I bought this for the Steelbook art. Love it. Moving down here, this is another gift my wife got me for Christmas one year. Just last year, actually. This is a graded Year of the Villain Joker that was written by John Carpenter, and it is signed by him right there. And then down here I have the NECA figures for Halloween 3. And we'll get more into these, but over on this side I've got a magnet set for Scream Factory. I've got a couple tote bags for some companies, and the rest there are movies. Moving right along. If you follow the Disconnected Instagram or Facebook, you might have seen some pictures of this posted in the last couple of weeks. This is something that my wife bought me for a date night for us to do together. Took us like 4 hours to put it all together. We did take like a 20-minute break in the middle of it just to get our minds off of it. But this thing is really neat. It actually plays this film, and you got to get it really dark, but it is really nice. You crank it and then it powers a light that is right here mounted in the back, and it shines out the front. Got a little clapboard that I've written on a couple times with chalk. This is a popcorn box that has been autographed by Todd Sheets, local director. He is from Kansas City. He did like Clownado, a couple of those silly movies. Twin Peaks from Z to A there. Then I'm also a big Lego fan. Had to get the DeLorean when it came out. I've had that in here ever since I built it. Love this set. Next to that, I've got the Midsummer 4K that came out exclusive to the A24 shop. What is next to this? Oh, I've got the copy of Year of the Villain that I've actually read. This is a copy of The Empire, the greatest cinema moments ever, that came out last year. Then all of the new run of Fangoria. And then this is, what is this? Oh, the autographed by Adam Green Hatchet shooting script from 2005. Pretty neat piece. Then I've got the novelization of Cruel Jaws. And then the Once Upon a Time in Hollywood that just came out. The Batman 4K Steelbook collection. And before I get into those other ones, let me show this. This is my sign. You may have seen this in a video before. This is up here just to bring the nostalgia of when I was growing up. You know, loving going to the video store and connecting with people that way, and trying to do the same thing now in my movie room. All right, and then before I get into those top Steelbooks, got a classic Elm Street sign up here. Love that Spirit Halloween's been putting out stuff like that. I've also got a Camp Crystal Lake sign I want to mount here, but I don't know where. Okay, so this is all of the Phase 1 and 2 Marvel Steelbooks, save for a couple that are right down there. So going through all of them, there's Iron Man, the Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America, the Avengers, Iron Man 3, Thor 2. Okay, so Winter Soldier, Guardians of the Galaxy, Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Doctor Strange, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, Spider-Man, Thor Ragnarok, Black Panther, Avengers, Infinity War, Ant-Man and the Wasp, Captain Marvel, and then the other ones down here. We've got the Avengers Endgame and Spider-Man Far From Home, and then some of the Marvel shows that I imported. We got Agent Carter, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., Luke Cage, and then the newer Howard the Duck 4K Steel. And then this is a pretty neat piece. This is the Steelbook for the Guardians of the Galaxy soundtrack, Awesome Mix Volume 1. It is a CD Steelbook. was from Zavi. And then the Avengers Steelbook Collection. And I've got a little mask for Sam from Trick or Treat. And then I mentioned conventions. Here is my local Kansas City Crypticon VIP badges from 2019 and 2021. Obviously 2020 didn't happen due to the pandemic. This is the American Werewolf in London 4K box set that came from Turbine. And this corner gets a little dark, so I'm going to try to do this the best I can. This is just some random mask, but it is on a very realistic skull. It is labeled. The skull cap actually comes off on magnets. And then obviously that's not a random mask, but Tales from the Crypt Keeper. Then we have this autographed by Lisa Wilcox prop pizza box. She is from Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and 5, I believe. And then behind that, I've got my Linda Blair autographed photo. I have the Arrow limited edition of Pieces. I have this bust of the Strain, the complete first season. Neat piece. And then in this little drawer in the back is where the discs go. I've got this Candyman figure from Candyman Farewell to the Flesh. And now, got this autographed photo from Prometheus. I have this autographed by Ari Lehman, Friday the 13th game. Of course, he always signs it Jason #1. These really nice Alien and Aliens film cell sets. See if I can bring these out here to show you a little better. These are actually cells of film here that you can see through. Super nice for both Alien and Aliens. Behind the Prometheus photo, I've got the Ghastly One book that came with the Andy Milligan box set from Severin. This is a Matthew Lillard autographed Scream mask. One's pretty cool. This is the NECA Hatchet figure that just came out, and I got mine from Ariscope, so Adam Green autographed that. Love the details on this figure. Then in the corner, I've got the recently released McCready figure from NECA, the Hobbit 4K Steelbook collection. That is a Ubiquity access point for my Wi-Fi, so I have good service down here. Vinegar Syndrome poster over here in the corner. Back in the day, I did not have this giant shelf here, so I had 3 Vinegar Syndrome posters all in frames next to each other on this wall. That had to leave, unfortunately. I've got the picnic basket from the When Nature Attacks bundle from Severin down there. And then a big Mondo poster of A Nightmare on Elm Street. Got that at Texas Frightmare. Get out of the way so you can see a little better. And then going down to this next shelf, I've got this light up Scream figure and moon that my wife got me. I have the Phantasm Sphere. I have this really neat Shining typewriter and Jack Torrance, just art piece, but actually it would make a really nice stash box. Then I've got the Season 1 of Walking Dead limited edition Blu-ray set here, and of course I had to put the World Series champion Kansas City Royals hat on there. There is my Child's Play NECA figure from Scream Factory, the Blind Dead collection from Blue Underground. That is the Scream Factory NECA figure from They Live, tied with the other two. Let me turn this thing off, or just move it. And you can see the other two. I've got this little one-of-a-kind Jason clay figure here. That is my remote for the lights that I have set up all the way around the room, going under my ledge. Moving down, I have this little Ash Deadite clay figure. I've got the Scream Factory Susie and Stooge 2-pack of NECA, both Scream Factory Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 1 and 2 NECA figures. Then the Rambo Steelbook collection and Lord of the Rings Steelbook collection. And we may as well transition to these. I've got my John Carpenter Steelbook set here. I've got Assault on Precinct 13, Halloween, The Fog, Escape from New York, The Thing, Christine, Big Trouble in Little China, Prince of Darkness, They Live. I would love to put 3 more here from him, but we don't have 3 more from him yet. So instead I got the East Rail trilogy from M. Night Shyamalan here for Unbreakable, Split, and Glass. Unbreakable is getting a 4K release here this fall. Can't wait for that. All right, moving right along. This is my Vinegar Syndrome. Let me zoom out here. Vinegar Syndrome box in my shelves. All of these are just random collectibles that Vinegar Syndrome has released. I've got the 3 mini slipcovers. I've got one of the Viewmasters. I've got 3D glasses, both reels. I've got the 2 cassettes that they put out, the Night Train to Terror limited 7-inch. I've got the postcard that they did back there. I've got their vinyls. All of the ones that they've put out are up there behind Miami Connection. Those are the Etiquette Pictures releases. Come on, you idiot. All right, then I did have this free so that you can just see my small VHS set that I was displaying here. Got some of my favorites on VHS. Wasn't very many, but had too many Blu-rays to fill in there, so I had to take them out. Then this is my Severin box here. I've got the plush from Anthropophagus in the back. I've got the Jess Franco Tree Topper, the Intervision Christmas ornament, the Severin Christmas ornament, the ball from the Changeling, the shot glass. I've got the Grizzly Bear that they put out, the Hulk Hogan impersonator bandana, the Cruel Jaws squirt gun, the Horror on Party Beach inflatable ball, and then the Grizzly Cup. Love all of the little tchotchkes that they put out. I know a lot of people hate them, but God, I love them for it. And then I believe my last, nope, I've got one more set over there. But this is probably my biggest shelf of things that I have on display here. So let's go through them. I've got all of the Waxworks spinatures that they've released so far. These go on vinyl records and spin as you play them. Number 1 is Frankenstein, 2 is The Bride of Frankenstein, 3 is Michael Myers from Halloween 2. Then we have 4 is The Witch, 5 is the Jack-o'-lantern, and 6 is the Skeleton from Halloween 3. 7 is the Politician from They Live. 8 is the Creature from the Black Lagoon. And supposedly they are going to be doing a second wave of those this year. And then behind there, I've got the Black Maria from Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And this is a whole set. Comes with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre apron, the movie, a few other things. There is the Herschel Gordon Lewis Feast box set. This is the Cauldron Films Abracadabra hard box. Then the American Rickshaw hard box. The American Rickshaw, I believe there's another variant. I only have that one. Then right behind that, you'll see the big Psycho collection from Turbine Media that has all of the movies in it. The Arrow Limited Edition Gamera. The Herschel Gordon Lewis Shock and Gore set that is very similar to the Feast box set. Has some extra trinkets like a prop eyeball in it. The Stranger Things Season 1 and 2 Blu-rays from Netflix. Then this is a prop finger from the movie 29 Needles, and it's autographed by the director there, and that's set in acrylic. Then I've got the Scream Factory figure for The Howling, and then next to this I've got, this is a piece of prop movie skin, and can't get a good look at it. There you go. This is from the independent horror movie called Freak. This is genuine monster skin. This specimen is a cutting from the actual skin created for the Arthur Crenshaw puppet used in filming for Freak. This is number 16 out of 20. Very glad to have this in the collection. And then next to that is some of my Demon Wind props. This is an actual from the movie finger. And then there's an actual piece of screen-used prop demon skin. And then I got these. This is Ultraman and Godzilla. Got those from a Crypticon a few years ago. This is just a novelty copy of the stuff, no big deal. This is the Shaun of the Dead pint glass that was put out by Fright Rags. Then of course the Beast is up there, Godzilla. This is Toulon's Trunk, all of the Puppet Master movies, and that's signed on the back by Charles Band. This is a puzzle of The Thing that I'm going to be putting together here soon. Then the Night of the Living Dead huge box set from FYE. And then next to that is the big 10-disc box set of Suspiria that has the old movie, the new movie. It's like a 10-disc set. It is crazy. And just to give a big wide view, that is that top shelf there. And then the last area, I've got the Scream Factory vinyl boxes up on top here. Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, and Godzilla King the Monster Steelbooks mounted. And then the Angela figure from Scream Factory. That was my white whale for a long time. Glad I finally have it. Alright, time to get into the movie collection as a whole. First off, the way I divide these, let me back up here. Everything that is visible in this room is boutique releases, except for the horror shelf that's over here by the door. Everything else is boutique. This whole wall over here, I go starting in this top corner, all the way down 1 row, 2, 3, 4, and then come and start here, go down, 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 in alphabetical order by label. Now there are a few of these that didn't make a whole lot of sense, or I could stash them elsewhere, so I've got a couple that are over on this shelf that we'll go over then. And then this whole wall is Vinegar Syndrome and all of the partner label releases. And this whole shelf is all of the Scream Factory releases that are slipcover and standard releases. So let's go in order. So starting at the top, I've got 88 films. I've got the Slasher Classics on the top left there, the Shaw Brothers releases, Jackie Chan, into Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then they're all regular releases after that. And then starting with the Black Christmas Steelbook there, right after Zombie 5, that's 101 films. And then we have A24, not necessarily a boutique label, except for maybe that Midsummer release, but I tend to see them as more boutique, especially on the production side. And then after Minari there, we have a Steelbook for an A24 movie that hasn't come out in the US yet. That is Saint Maud. And then we have Anti-Worlds. That is a sister label of Indicator. They do their spine numbers in reverse order. Pretty interesting. So when you get a new one, it goes on the left rather than on the right. Then I have Arrow Academy here. And it actually stops with Zoology. I don't have a ton of Arrow Academy. I've sold a few of them. I do have a few that are too big, so I just stick them here. I didn't realize I had these over here still. So this is Arrow Academy's A Trip to the Moon with Neil and I. That's just Arrow Video. And then Arrow Academy's The Game. Then I have Arrow Books. My one release, that is Arrow Films Primer. All of the Arrow Steelbooks that I have. And then we get into Arrow Video. So I go box sets, limited editions first. And to the next shelf. Now a lot of those that you see the wrap on, they're open so that I can get the movie out. But it looks sealed on this side. Granted, a lot of them are still fully sealed, but a lot of them I just pulled the movie out to watch. Whole lot of box sets from Arrow. This is a big one that I just got this year. That is a space that I left for the limited edition of True Romance that should be here soon. Then I got the slipcover releases, and I am missing one or two of the Arrow slipcovers. Actually, it's probably 3 if you count Pitch Black, because the 4K release did not come with one, but the Blu-ray release did, and I am all in on 4K. Now the standard Arrow releases. Hopefully this is not too fast for anybody. Then after Arrow, we get BFI. I've only got a couple from BFI. And then I get into Blue Underground. Blue Underground does have the best 4K releases that I've ever seen. I would suggest getting them if you do not have them. Then after Blue Underground, we have Cauldron Films. Then this is actually a custom steelbook for Savage Streets. And we have my Code Red collection. By the way, I do go by spine number if possible. And then when it's not possible, like Blue Underground, I just do alphabetical. If it's something like Vinegar Syndrome, I go by the category number. After Code Red there, I've got one Cohen Media release. And then it starts my Criterion Collection. If you've been listening to my live videos with Flip recently, I'm not a huge fan of the Criterion Collection. I've got a lot of them, but not as many as a lot of boutique collectors. I think they used to be the pinnacle of boutique, and they have fallen mightily. Okay, after Deep Cover, we get into Cult Epics, and then Culture Shock releasing, and then Curzon Artificial Eye, and then these ones are, let's see, this is a special set. This is Dark Dunes. This was part of an Indiegogo or a Kickstarter thing a while ago. And then, of course, we have Dark Force. And then these were exclusive to Diabolic, so I just put them under Diabolic. And then we have Disney. I've got Disney divided up. Live action. then animated. Have a whole lot of the Disney Steelbooks here. And then starts the Pixar line, and these I went in order of release. And then of course right next to Disney is porn. This is Distribpix Command Video, and then starts Draft House Films, a far underrated label in my opinion. Draft House continues there. Then after Draft House, we get Dread Pictures. These are spine numbered. And then after the last Dread, which is currently Queen of Spades, although I believe there's one more out that I'm waiting on at the moment. Then their sister company, which is, or their parent company rather, Epic Pictures is next to them. And that ends there with the wave. And then we go all the way over here for the first release from Air 4444. That is Anatomia Extinction. And then Eureka titles. Change the way I'm holding this here. Then after Eureka, we have Everything Blue. And I've got a little hole there because I've got 3 more that are due to go in there soon. And then starts Full Moon Features. Get that to focus. More Full Moon. And then starting with Impossible Horror there, the red case. That is Gold Ninja Video. And then starting with the Beyond, that is Grindhouse releasing. All the way through the Swimmer. And then the Groove Tube is Hen's Tooth. The next few are Horror Pack. And then Imprint Films. And this is a big one. Got a couple holes there because I've got more coming in from Imprint. After the big Hammer House of Horror, I've got the Impulse Pictures, and then my indicator starts. Gotta love my misprint there on Hammer Volume 3. I got 2 sleeves, which means it's got 2 numbers. Okay, then is my Kino Lorber collection. Last one you can't really read there. That is Cosmos by Andrei Zulawski. Whole lot of Kino. Then the Kino line for Forbidden Fruit. And then starts Massacre Video. I got DVDs first. Then their Blu-rays, and then their limited Blu-rays. And I've got the extra slip there for Killers Die Hard. Thinking about getting an extra copy of it. Next up is Mill Creek. So first I've got the retro VHS covers all together. The ones I have at least. And then the Andy Sedaris films. And then the rest of the Mill Creeks that I've got. And then Alucarda is the first Mondo Macabro there. And I go DVDs first. their limited edition red case Blu-rays in alphabetical order there. And their standard Blu-rays. Then Mondovision, Possession, and the Blue Note. And then MVD. First one is MVD Classic, or sorry, MVD Marquee Collection, I think. No, MVD Classic, then Marquee, then MVD Rewind, which I just did a guide on how to collect MVD Rewind. Then the MVD Visual. Then I've got one network title there, The Woman in Black. Then Nova Media put out The Nice Guys and Jackie Brown. Then Olive Pictures. And then Oscilloscope Labs. Then Plain Archive. Then Raro or Raro Video. Switch up here. Then Redemption Films. Then Retro Media. Then RLJE. They have a lot of the Shudder exclusive titles. And then starting with hardware there, that is Ronin Flicks. They did Hardware, Haunt, I Spit on Your Grave. And then Scorpion releasing. Then after Uphill All the Way, we start the Scream Factory box sets. Then the Scream Factory Steelbooks. And then after the Slumber Party Massacre, we start Scream Team releasing. It's an independent horror company. Then starting with the amazing Mr. Blunden, that is Second Sight. Sorry for the piss poor lighting again. Then we get into Severin and their sister company Intervision. So there's Intervision, and then I've got a little hole because I've got Severin film stuff coming from the sale. And I've got another little hole at the end of Severin. All right, just a few more rows on the wall left. Okay, first up here, I've got one title from Shameless. I've got The House with Laughing Windows on DVD, since that's the only way to get this right now. And then I've got Shout Factory Steelbooks, followed by Shout Factory. And then we start down here on Shout Select. And after Shout Select, we've got this one is autographed. It is Slasher Studios.
And then starting with that next DVD there of, I believe it's Boarding House, that's Slasher Video, then SRS Cinema, and then Studio Canal, followed by Synapse, okay, last row over here. This is Tempe Digital, then Terracotta, then Third Window Films, and then this isn't for everybody, but Toxic Filth Video, then Troma. A lot of my Troma is still sealed because it's hard to get my wife to be able to watch them, and she always watches with me. My 3 Lonely Twilight Time titles there, then Umbrella Entertainment, and then Unearthed Films. Whole lot of Unearthed Films. And then VCI. And then that Ray Harryhausen is from Via Vision, which is who Imprint Films falls under actually. And then Warner Archive. There's my one Warner Archive DVD. Put Pink Flamingos on Blu-ray already. And then last on this side is Wellgo USA. All right, now let's look at the rest of these. This is my Scream Factory collection. I go slips first, and I have every slip they've made that has come out so far. All the slips are in alphabetical order. I also have the alternative slips for like Return of the Living Dead and Candyman, Carrie, those movies that have had them, but I have those set aside. I'm actually going to be framing some of my extra slips since I have some from Vinegar Syndrome, Severin, Scream Factory. Going to be putting them all together. Okay, and then with Zombie Fight Club, that's the end of the slipcovers, and now it's the standard releases. No slips. These are all in alphabetical order, and I do have all of them. These little shelves had to go vertically here. Vertically stacked, horizontal movies, whatever. Crush is a really good one. Not enough people talk about Death Valley. A lot of these, unfortunately, are out of print and pretty difficult to get now. Thankfully, though, if you're region free, many of them have been released overseas, and you can get them for much cheaper than the Scream Factory version. And in some instances, they're even better quality. So no reason not to. Thankfully, I've got room to add some more still over here. I've already got shipping confirmation for more coming from Scream Factory, like the Battle Beyond the Stars Steelbook, and the August titles, like Salem's Lot 2. Those are already on the way. that's it for Scream Factory. All right, only a little bit left. Let's see, what should we do first? Let's do this corner over here. Okay, so first, these top 3 shelves are all of the Mondo Art Steelbooks. I don't have the variants, but I do have all of the spine numbers. There's only a variant for a few of them, like Looper, I think, has one, and Boyhood, and the Avengers. Then this is all of the Garage House picture titles. And then this is all of the Paramount Presents through number 16. I'm waiting on a shipment for the last few that have come out. And then here is all of the Vestron titles that have come out so far. I do have number 20 on the way currently. I pre-order from Diabolic a lot, so it had to wait for other titles, but the Wraith is on the way. Okay, now Vinegar Syndrome and their partner labels. So let's go partner labels first. This is, as you can see, the American Genre Film Archive. I'm getting tired. Or AGFA, and this is all of their spine numbers. And actually, if you notice, right here, they go from 10 to 12. 11 was supposed to be Fleshpot on 42nd Street, and that one actually went to Vinegar Syndrome. So AGFA does not have a spine number 11. Then all of their partner labels with Vinegar Syndrome started here, and all of them with slipcovers. This is the end of AGFA. And then we start Altered Innocence. The ones that have come out with slipcovers so far I have. And Altered Innocence stops here. And then we have Donnie's Bar Mitzvah. This one is from, I think it's the Circle Collective. Then this is from ETR Media. This is Green Jelly Sucks. Then Fun City Editions, one of my probably my favorite partner label. We've got Alphabet City, all of these through Rancho Deluxe. This marks the end. And then from Gunpowder and Sky, Prospect in 4K. Then we have Heavy Trip, Alleluia. And then from Pulse, oh, this is from Music Box, by the way. Heavy Trip and Alleluia. La Femme Objet is from Pulse. Mail Order Murder is from Saturn's Core. Deadlock is from Subculture. And then Utopia, which is a really great partner label. We've got these last ones, and if you haven't seen it yet, I highly recommend Shiva Baby. Such a great movie. Like I said, the 4 Etiquette Pictures releases are all over there. If you know Vinegar Syndrome, you know what those are. Okay, Vinegar Syndrome themselves. I've got the big divider there, and this first group up until the small divider. These are all of the VSAs so far. And those are all numbered. With Vinegar Syndrome, I've been a subscriber for quite a few years at this point. So that's why I've been able to do this. I've got the VSUs. This is the standard for Beastmaster, and the 2 big box sets for the VSUs that have come out. Vinegar Syndrome catalog. And then the Indiegogo release of Murder on the Emerald Seas, Exploitation TV releases. And then starting here, we've got the Picorama releases. And then this Herschel Gordon Lewis set, that is catalog number 1 for Vinegar Syndrome. And we have all of them in order. So let's go through all of them. I have all of the slipcovers for Vinegar Syndrome titles that have had slipcovers released. Most of them I've gotten protectors. I'm working to get the rest in protectors, just because I'm an idiot like that. Vinegar Syndrome is probably my favorite label for a myriad of reasons. I don't watch many of the DVDs. I hate to say it like this, but I'm kind of a quality snob. So like the ones that they put on the 5 films collections, I love watching those versions of those films because they do look a lot better than DVD. I'm also really stoked that boutiques are starting to embrace 4K. Especially with a company like Vinegar Syndrome that's got the VSU line and started with, you know, Tammy and the T-Rex and other titles that a lot of people have never heard of. It's a lot to take a risk like that. Final row. All right, that is all of the movies. Don't know what else to show you here. A couple other random things. I can go over my vinyl real quick. I've got a lot of Waxwork records there. And then at the end, I've got a few other scores, some bands that I'm friends with, and then Childish Gambino at the end. I will show, I use this Severin basket to keep a lot of posters and stickers in from labels. And my big, oh, I didn't show this whole side over here. Let me show this real quick. So this is the SOV 6-pack from Tempe Digital. And then down below that, I've got a bunch of old Wild Eye titles that I got for like $2 and $3. Most of these are just awful movies, like Velocipaster, stuff like that. But there's some decent ones in there. This this is the closet in the movie room, and it does hide some shameful things. Let me show you why. Get this open. So first off, I do have two other posters hanging in here I can show. I've got it and Elvira's movie Macabre. And I've got some other NECA figures posed up over there. But the real reason this is shameful is because I hide my mainstream releases in here. Ooh. That is like studio titles, some box sets, 4K, Steelbook, stuff like that. A lot of the stuff up here are TV shows, just stuff I'm not going to watch that often, but that are not boutique. And then I've got a whole bunch of posters ready to be framed, random just stuff stowed away, ready to go, that I just need a little more space for. Keep some extra empty cases up here. There's a pile of empty cases right there. It helps. So anyways, that is the movie room. I hope that Those of you that have been requesting to see it saw what you wanted to see. There is a lot to it. It is a lot of fun. It is a lot to keep up. It is a lot that I've worked for quite a long time. I love to just spend time in here tinkering around, organizing, getting stuff looking nice. Thanks for hanging out. If you like this, please give it a like, subscribe below like I said. That does help the channel quite a lot. If it's your first time here, it's a big deal. I do a lot of things like guides, collection videos, announcements. I do my live videos every Thursday night for announcements, for upcoming releases, stuff like that. So please subscribe. We'd love to have you around. That's all I've got though. So from one collector to all of you, we're going to shut the door in the movie room. Have a good night. Okay, so I lied. Here's a little bonus. This is my shower curtain in my bathroom right next to the movie room. I actually had a band here to play in my living room one time, and I totally forgot the shower curtain was up. The band brought their 2 daughters, and one of them was 6 years old, and she came down here and had to go to the bathroom, and when she turned on the light, she was so scared she peed her pants. Yeah, fun times. That's it. See you guys soon.